You're listening to NacChat with Amy Mahaffey, straight from the city of Nacogdoches, where we chat all things Nac. We make any topic fun, and I'll take you behind the scenes of the oldest town in Texas. Welcome to the latest episode of NacChat. Hi, Steve Bartlett.
Hey, Amy.
I talked you into being back on my show.
It's multi times per year I get to do this. I look forward to it.
Somebody in my department, I won't name them today, said we were talking about doing videos, and we were going through, like, who can we video? And somebody said, Bartlett's more of a podcast kind of guy.
Gee.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know. That means get a haircut.
But it made me laugh. Yeah. He's our podcast guy. So that's your new title. You're our podcast guy.
Okay.
So, welcome back,
thanks.
I guess. We're talking about something not very exciting today. Sorry to offend you.
No, we always talk about problems.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
So what's going on?
Well, Amy, several months ago we had, and it's an annual visit we get from the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality, or TCEQ, which is the state agency that oversees water and sewer and all the things that we do at the city, providing utilities to everybody. So they come in and do things like audit our files and inspect our plants and all this. So we have multiple visits per year in our facilities from them. This particular visit, one of their typical things is to ask for copies of reports from businesses on testing of their backflow preventers. Now, what is a backflow preventer? Which is your next question, which is a device that we put, generally is installed right after your water meter, but before any of your hose bibs or your sinks or toilets or whatever, that prevents water from going backwards from your house or your business into the system, only allows water from the system into your business. So if you do something bad inside your business and contaminate your local water system, it can't get into the main lines. And so
keeps our water safe.
The distribution water safe. And so these have been requirements that have been out there forever. And if you have an irrigation system, for example, you might have fertilizers connected to it.
Yeah.
And those are always isolated from our system and always have been. And so how does that happen if it's under pressure and without making a physics problem out of this, which nobody wants to hear?
Really not.
Not really. It is when we repair a water line, the pressure goes off.
Right.
You get no water. That's because there's no pressure. And so when that happens, you might be able to backflow water into our system.
Right.
So we repair lines every day, so this happens every day. So that's what these protections are there for.
So the state is coming in and requiring some changes that we are asked to enforce at the local level.
Yes.
Okay.
And the truth is, we got in a little trouble.
Okay.
And so they've done some enforcement action on us, which means they've given us some deadlines and some things to accomplish. Fines can be involved sometimes. But what's the big deal? Are we doing this? Well, we've been doing it, but we've only been doing it with new construction and new businesses.
Right.
So we inspect your building. If you build a new building, and this is, again, businesses we're talking about, then we will inspect it. We'll look for the potential cross-connection points where you might contaminate our water. And then we look for this backflow preventer outside by the meter, and we check you off the list and let you occupy the building. What we haven't done is gone back to the 1,000 businesses we have in town that were built before Moses was here.
Sure.
And so we basically have treated them like grandfathering, and I will tell you truthfully, the state has treated them like grandfathering and never asked for reports until now. So.
And what inspired them to ask for these reports now?
In 2016, Corpus Christi had a huge contaminated drinking water incident, and it all stemmed from a plant, an industry they had in town, whose backflow preventer failed, and part of some asphalt-like materials they were using got backwards into the water system, and it was a really, really bad deal. So a bunch of their city was without water because the water was contaminated.
Right.
And they had to go through a lot of things just to get it back to normal. So TCEQ kind of just went on alert after that.
Okay.
And have been on a statewide come and see how you're doing this program. So what really tripped this is we've got a lot of businesses that have been here forever.
Right.
And may not have a backflow preventer because they were built before we really had these ordinances in place.
It's kind of like with signage. We have a sign ordinance. If your sign is too tall and it doesn't fit within our ordinance, as long as it's there, we don't make you go back and fix it. Right. But this, when we talk about, I guess, public drinking water.
Yeah. I mean, really, I've got to tell you they're right.
Right.
In this case.
Absolutely.
And we fight with them sometimes, but in this case, it's life, health, safety things.
Mm-hmm.
They're grandfathering. Why would we want to grandfather somebody that was going to contaminate the system? There's
Sure.
no good answer to that. So,
Right.
So they are correct.
So how have you've heard from some business owners, I'm sure. What has their response been? What have you heard?
What we're doing, we've got about 125 that we've inspected, and there's more to go. And these are 125 the state gave us a list of and asked us where our records. So we started with that list. We've inspected these businesses. We've come up with the deficiencies and cross connections. And then we've sent them letters. Basically, it is a demand letter that says they have to install whatever fixtures are necessary to prevent this. And we give them 3 months to do it, or they have to come get a variance on time if they have a strategic problem. But we will continue to inspect businesses over the course of the next year, and probably find some more businesses that are deficient in one way or another. I will tell you, we not only has the state had regulations in place for a number of years, just haven't been enforced in this manner, but we've also had ordinances, and even our water service agreement you signed when you got a water meter, whether it's your house or your business, says clearly on there that you have to install all this stuff. We've just never made you do it on old existing stuff.
I see. So this is at the cost of the business owner, obviously.
Yes.
And it's just the cost of doing business.
It is, and it probably should have been done, quote unquote, a long time ago. It is going to be an expense, and it certainly will be a burden. I mean, some of the bigger backflow preventers could be a couple $1,000s.
Wow.
Install price. So, and some of them, there's going to be difficult to figure out a place to put them.
Sure.
It's not like they have a big green yard in front.
I see. Yeah, that's true.
So just the strategies of where to place it is critical. So we're just working with each one of them. I will tell you, we've heard from a couple of dozen of the businesses so far. Our letters just went out last week. And very surprisingly, everybody's kind of on board with it. And so I think everybody understands this has got a bigger importance to it than, griping about the cost of having to retro install this. So.
Other cities, I assume, are kind of feeling the same effects from the state.
They are. And, of course, TCEQ can't get around everywhere at once. And as we began to pick up the phone and call around, Lufkin, good example, they hit Lufkin year and a half ago.
Okay.
Same thing, and Lufkin's gone through all these steps, so we're kind of calling them and modeling some of our practice after them. But, they're going everywhere and doing this everywhere.
Got it.
It's not just us, and it's not the city. Quite honestly, we're complying. Yeah. But again, I have to tell you, I think it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, well, we like our water safe, so that's good.
We do, and that's really our responsibility. I mean, you assume your water's safe when you turn on the tap,
right?
Make baby bottles or brush your teeth or whatever, and so
I make a lot of baby bottles.
And you make a lot of baby bottles.
Yes, I do.
I plan on not having baby bottles. So,
well, a lot of us do, so we're glad you're helping us.
My baby's 31, so there.
She's making baby bottles.
She's making baby bottles. No, it's important, and so everybody. This is going to be a little bit of a shock for some folks, and businesses run on thin margins sometimes,
right?
So we understand that. So all I can say is, if you've got some burden from this, come talk to us.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to tell you don't have to do it, but we're going to try to facilitate and help you all we can to do it. And so.
Okay. Well, that was fun.
Well, it's just all part of the fun we get to do every day.
Maybe next time we talk, it'll be something like really exciting, like a sewer line.
Well, sewer goes downhill, and that's our motto. So
there you go. Well, thanks for being on my show.
Okay. Well, thanks.
All right. Bye.
Bye.